All right, so when I got off that stretcher in the ambulance, or when I got off the ambulance, I was still in the stretcher. And this is why I say that I died. I had a near-death experience because I'm telling you right now how unhelpful the paramedic was. He didn't give me any medicine. He didn't give me anything to calm down my heart from beating. He didn't he didn't give me anything for my paralysis. I still had it. The minute I got off that stretcher and I stopped fighting, where I was like doing movements to lower my stress, or I was trying to think about things that weren't going to they weren't going to raise my heart level up. When I stopped doing those things and I stopped fighting, as in doing those things I just named, I was gone. I was out. I was off this earth. Well, not off this earth, but I was out of my body, if that makes any sense. I was technically dead in my own terms. There's no medical proof behind it, but I know what I felt. Because when I got off that stretcher, I'm going to say it again, I felt nothing. I didn't feel my paralysis. I didn't feel no pain. I didn't feel anything. And I'm assuming that's how heaven is when you die. You know, you don't feel any pain. You don't feel any hurt. I felt kind of like relieved, because I was just like, I'm dead now. So, you know, at least I don't have to worry about like life anymore. That's what I was telling myself. But I was just saying to myself, y'all killed me. I'm dead now. Y'all happy? I was saying those things to myself, and I felt nothing. I don't remember being pushed in my room. I didn't feel anything at all. And I was just telling myself, as I'm dying, I'm basically dead at this point. I'm just saying, like, what's going to happen now? Am I going to just see darkness? Am I going to just like go to heaven? What's next? I told you my video about my near-death experience and going to hell, and based off what I saw, it really was just an eye-opener for me. The next thing I know, I'm in this dark room. All I remember, there was a girl that I talked to. It was a lady. Maybe me and her were around the same age, maybe a little older. She had glasses on. It was a white lady, but her skin was like a little dark, like she had like a little tan going on. And I remember there was like two other people in there. And I asked her, I just told myself I'm dead now. So everything just I sort of processed everything very slow. Like, okay, obviously I'm not alive anymore. Where am I going next? Like I was telling myself, I'm not stupid, but I knew I was dead. So I just told myself, based off of my love of books and history, when people die, I know they have judgment day. So I'm just telling myself, am I being judged at this point? Is she going to judge me for my life? Like, what's going to happen? I'm asking her, like where am I? I just first asked her, is this hell? Like, because obviously when you die, that's the first question you ask yourself. Is this hell? Is this heaven? Where am I at? And she tells me, yes, it is. I'm like, it is? Like, I'm real confused. I'm like, what did I do to get here? So I'm just telling myself that, okay, for one, hell is not how they depict it, where it's just fire and brimstone and the devil. Obviously, what I perceive hell where I was just like regular earth, but they separate the good from the bad. So I'm telling myself, maybe these are just people that have bad habits and they're just sent here. I don't know. But I felt like this was like the intake for going to the actual hell where there's fire and brimstone. That's just all I can really conclude with that, where I was. But I asked her more than 10 times, because I'm trying to tell myself I can't be here forever. I'm like, is this hell? Is this hell? And she's like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's all she tells me. She doesn't say any more. But then I start asking her, like, people that I know that are famous, if they're here. I asked her, is Jeffrey Dahmer here? And I remember she said, she was like, he's not even in these parts. And what I got from that was, maybe they separate you from like the country or the state you're in or the region. Like I was saying, like Saddam Hussein. I remember I said, Saddam Hussein, is he here? And she said the same. I remember she said, no, she said with Saddam Hussein, she was like, he's not even in these parts. He's not even here. And I asked, is Little Richard here? The rock and roll singer from Georgia. I was like, if Little Richard is from Georgia, he's from Macon, Georgia. Because at the time I was in Georgia myself. I was like, if they separated by the parts you're in, maybe he's here because he left. He claimed he led like a sinful lifestyle before getting saved, and he denounced his homosexuality before he died. So I was like, did he make it in here? And she said I don't know who that is. So obviously I didn't see Little Richard. I didn't hear nothing about him. So then after that went on, there was a guy that looked real unkept. It was like an older dude. I don't know if he was like Middle Eastern or he just had like a like real like I remember he had a beard, black hair, and he looked kind of like Middle Eastern. Or he looked like half white and Hispanic. But he came in and he just started smiling. And I just didn't know what he was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to hurt me, harm me, torture me. I just started screaming like, bro, don't hurt me, don't torture me. I didn't know what they were planning to do. I just started screaming to the top of my lungs. And I'm telling them, like, don't put your hands on me. I'm sorry for what I did. And out of fear, I prayed. The only prayer I know by heart that I say before my meals and before I go to bed and when I wake up, the Our Father. And I know it in French as well. I say the Our Father or the Notre Père in French, Notre Père, which means Our Father as well. And I say that, and the minute I say that prayer, I don't remember nothing else after that. After that, I don't know what happened, but I just woke up the next day. And that prayer just saved me. And I'm going to say it again. I don't remember anything after the prayer. I don't know what happened. All I know was I don't know what happened, really. I can't explain it, but that prayer did something powerful. And then I wake up the next morning. I'm in the bed. My towel is like, I don't know what happened. I'm just waking up from what I was told, an overdose. The doctor, I just say like, hey, what's going on? I'm just thinking about what happened the night before. I don't have a lot of memory. And he just tells me like, you overdosed, man. And I did. And then I started thinking about what I saw when I went to hell. I'm like did I'm like, is this hell? Did I die? He said, no, man, you're alive. He said, but you were close to dying. And I just say, I was? He said, yeah, you were this close. And I just said, oh man. And I didn't say nothing. I didn't eat nothing for the rest of the day. I just pondered on that the whole day. I just said I could have lost my life over a mistake. But the ambulance driver, paramedic, would have let me die based off of his possible own prejudice. And understand, the area that I was in was a suburb of Atlanta. Because certain used to die people, certain demographics, they do their best to get away from low income people. And I guess whatever reminds them of low income people, they take that out on. So I can't preach to you on this channel, don't judge people based on what they look, their religion, their social class, because we all have prejudgments, whether we admit it or not. We all do. We all don't like someone based off of possibly how much money they make, how much money they don't make, their social status, religion, whether they're homeless, whether they have one leg. We all don't like someone, or we judge someone based off of how we look. That's just human nature. But what I will say, what I will preach is, treat everybody with respect. Because one thing about me, I have my opinions and you can see them on this channel, but I never disrespect anyone. I always treat everyone equally, because that's how I want to be treated. But that's my story on the ambulance driver. and my experience, what I believe was the afterlife. And if I am, when I die in my, hopefully I could reach an old age, that is possibly what I feel is coming my way. I believe there is a heaven and a hell. And if you live the right way, you'll go to heaven. If you don't, you'll go to hell. And this is what made me change my life.